Welcome to Beauty Over 50. Today I am really excited to share with you my new purchase. I know this palette has been around for a while, but it's brand new to me and I can't wait to do a try on. It is my brand new Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. So I am really excited about giving it a try. The packaging is really heavy, luxurious feeling. It's absolutely beautiful. Opening it up, it has 15 beautiful shades of neutral tones. I can easily see this palette being used for a variety of different looks. It's got so much glitter in there for a sort of an evening look. It's got a lot of neutral shades, matte shades for a daytime look. The holidays are coming up and I thought it would be fun to experiment with this palette for more of a dramatic evening look. To apply the shadows, I'm going to be using my 4 favorite eyeshadow brushes. I like to use my makeup eraser while I'm applying shadows. If I'd like to use a brush for more than one shade, I just go ahead and just wipe it off on my makeup eraser, and I find that works great. I have a bunch of these and I can just throw them in the laundry. I'm gonna start with this shade here. I do need reading glasses, but this shade here, it's called Fair. I'm going to use that as my base shade. I'm going to be using my fluffy blending brush because I'm just going to be basically getting this all over my lid. Let's start off with the Fair. Just basically covering everything, almost going all the way up to my brow. This is applying really nicely. Of course, I already have my primer on. I have all my makeup on except for my eye makeup. I used Urban Decay eyelid primer, and I also put on a little bit of Painterly before beginning this as my base. I do like using the matte paint pots. They're excellent as an eyeshadow primer. Now I'm really liking this color Fair. It's just kind of hiding the discolorations on my lid, doing a great job of that. So let's go in with another shade darker. Mesh is a bit lighter, but because I want to go with sort of a darker evening look, I think I'll use the Stone. If I were doing more of a daytime look, I'd probably go with the Mesh. I'm going to use the same brush as I did with the Fair. I'll just wipe it on my makeup eraser there. I am tapping the excess shadow just onto my makeup eraser. All right, going in. I'm just going to start slow because I don't know this shadow very well. I don't know how pigmented it is. Just back and forth with this. I really like this brush. It just fits really nicely under your bone there, and you can... This is a MAC 217. So let's just put a little bit more. I like the color. Back and forth. You're a good boy. Yes, you're a good boy. My puppy's watching. Would you stay another night? 'Cause I don't know you, but I want to get to know you. Just wanna get to know you. Okay, now I'm going to go in with my next brush that I like to use. Now this is a denser brush that I'm using now. because I need a little bit more precision. I'm going to start working on my lid here, trying to camouflage my hooded eyes, and I need a little bit more of a precision brush for that. Any kind of small packed brush, shadow brush like this will work. This one again is a MAC, and well, unfortunately the numbers are worn off. A lot of my brushes I've had for so long. But any brush like this will do. Hang on, I have to let my other puppy in. Next up, I'm going to pick a shade darker. For this application, I think I'm gonna go with this color here, Tender. I really do like the colors Vague and Wit, but to me, those have a bit more of a coppery tint to them, and I'm looking for something more in the browns today. So I think the next one up, I'm going to use Tender. Try to stay in line with the edge of my brow to give the eyes more of a sort of a lift up look. Go all the way in. I stop at about here. I like to flick it out a little bit there.
I think I've waited all these years for you right here. But how will I ever know if you go? 'Cause I don't know you, but I want to get to know you.
I just let one pooch in, but now I have to let one out. Just a second.
Get to know you. Just wanna get to know you. I don't know you, but I want to get to know you. Just wanna get to know you. I don't know you, but I want to get to know you. Just wanna get to know you.
Okay, at this point, I think I'm going to go ahead and blend together what I have so far. It looks really great. Again, I'm going to use the same blending brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and just start blending it all together. Pretty colors. Blends really nicely. During this blending phase, if I find that I've applied the makeup a little too thickly with my small brush, I can always go back to my original base color, which I had used Fair. I will dab my blending brush into that color and just kind of, oops, that was a little too much. Just go ahead and add a little, and it will just blur out that edge a bit for you. So I dip it in, and I just can blur it out a little bit with that lighter original color if I find that it's not blending well enough. So now I'm going to go in with a fairly dark color, the darkest one I'm going to use today. So I think, because I'm not really wanting to go coppers, I think if I were going coppers, I'd be using, some of these colors here. But I want to stick with the brown. I'm going to be a bit more dramatic because, well, I was trying to achieve that evening look. So let's go into this color here, Silhouette. I'm going to go right in down here where I'm going to create sort of that smoky eye look. And a little bit up there like that. Just like that. applying it. That's looking really nice. Really nice. I'm so excited about the shadow. I mean, I've seen a lot of reviews on the Natasha Denona palettes, and this is actually my first one. I'm so excited. I can't wait to start using the glittery parts. That looks really nice. So I'm gonna go in again with the same brush. I'm going to wipe it on my makeup eraser just to get off the fair that I had on it. And again, I'm just gonna blend that in, just really gently. In there. There it goes. This is the fun part. I'm gonna get started with some of the glitter. I noticed some of these shades here seem more glittery, others shimmery. Certainly this Muse and Ella seem to have a thick glitter to it. You know, Sheen, Whisper seem to be more of a shimmer shadow as opposed to a glittery shadow. There's so many different looks we could achieve with this. I think what I'm gonna do today is I'm going to use something very glittery in the middle of my lid, and then something more shimmery on the inner corner of my lid. I think that would look great. I'm going to start with using Muse for the very center of my lid. Now, this is the first time I've used this shadow. I'm not sure whether there's going to be a lot of fallout. I'm going to try it with my brush. It might be a better idea for me to use my finger for this, but we'll give it a try. And this brush is dry. I'm gonna give it a try with my finger. I don't feel like it was packing on as well as I would have liked with the brush. Let's just see if I pat it on with my, oh my gosh, yes. Okay, yeah. Okay, yes, that's a definite yes with using your finger versus the brush. So if you, in fact, yeah. Big difference between using the brush and using your finger. Okay, so, wow. Big difference. Okay, so I'm gonna stick with my finger on this lid. I mean, it just, when you apply it with your finger, it comes on like foil. It really is extraordinary. It really is extraordinary, wow. Okay, so this is more, we're getting to that evening look I was trying to achieve. I mean, this is a little too glittery for me for during the day. It packed so surprisingly well on with my finger that I think I'm going to go back with my silhouette and just do a touch-up. I feel like I got the sparkle a little bit too far to the outer corner, so I'm just gonna go in and just there we go. Now, for the inner corner of my eye, I'm going to choose something less glittery, a little bit more shimmery. How far up you choose to go here definitely depends on your eye. I've tried before using a darker shadow here, and then just putting the light in the very center. Other times I stop about here and I add more of the shimmery lighter shade on the inner corner. Today I want more of a dramatic look, so I'm going to apply quite a bit of shimmer shadow. I'm going to try out the sheen for the inner corner. Again, this is much more sparkly than the Whisper, but it still is a shimmer shadow. Let's give that a try. I'm going to use, for the inner corner, I'm going to use a smaller precision eyeshadow brush, but one that still picks up a lot of shadow. I use this same brush, and I like to take a bit of that shadow and just do a little dab, just like that, at the very corner of my eye. So finally what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a brush like this one that has more of a precision edge. I'll use this to line underneath my eyes. I might use Silhouette, but because this is my first time using this, I feel that might be too dark. I'm gonna start with using Tender for under my eyes, and if I find that I want it to be a little darker than that, then I'll go ahead and use Silhouette. Yeah, I really like the Tender. I don't think I'm going to use the Silhouette for the bottom. I think I prefer the lighter shade. I'm gonna go ahead and use some eyeliner on the bottom. I'm gonna use brown. And then for the top, I'm going to do my top waterline with this here. I have another video where I showed how I do the upper waterline. You can take a look at that. A lot of people, you know, they lift their lid up and hold their lid up. I look down and kind of pushed my lid down onto the pencil. If I were just interested only in a daytime look, or, you know, maybe a daytime glam look, I might leave it at this. But because I want to be a little bit more dramatic, I'm going to go ahead and put liner on my top lid. Oh. Oops, I just got fluid line on my blanket. Okay, serves me right for doing my makeup on the couch. Final step is mascara. As I said in my other video, if you choose to do your top waterline, I always do it before my mascara. I find it very difficult to do that once I've applied mascara. This is my Lancome Big Monsieur. Okay, getting there. Last step, bottom lashes. I really don't have much in the way of bottom lashes. I try. To create a little bit more drama, a little trick that I have is at the very end, I might take my eyeliner and just go underneath the very corner and do a little line there. Just right there. It just gives a little bit of shape. Kind of like that for more of a dramatic look. Thanks for joining me for my first try of my brand new Natasha Denona palette. So far, I love it. I'm looking forward to experimenting with some other looks, particularly a coppery look. Until then, thanks for joining me. Have a great day, guys. Bye. I'm back, but just for a second. I noticed when I was looking at the video, there seemed to be too much of a line between the gold foil shadow and my darkest shadow. I felt it needed to be more blended out. So I'm back just to let you know I noticed that, and I've gone ahead and just kind of blended out that line. And also flick up some of the darker shadow. Voila! Thanks for watching. Bye again.